Hi boys and girls! Today I'm going to go over your DOT folder because there's lots of really important information in there and you need to be big first graders and make sure you're taking it home every single day to your parents and you're talking about all the cool things that you're doing in first grade. So everybody should have a blue DOT folder that will say DOT, D.o.t on it, and it will have your name on it. You should be bringing this home every single day, Monday through Friday, and then you should be bringing it back to school, okay, because there's lots of important information in there. So I'm going to go ahead and go over what's in your DOT folder, okay? So when you first open it up, you will notice that there's going to be something here that says take home and return. So on this side of your DOT folder, you are going to have your behavior chart, okay? It's a monthly behavior chart, but it will be filled out daily. It will talk about whether or not you followed your pause and what mom, dad, aunt, uncle, guardian, whoever's at home with you needs to review with you every single day, okay? The other thing that you're going to find on this side of your DOT folder is your homework. Okay, so for the first week of school, we really don't have a ton of homework, but you'll see here, it's a nice organized calendar that tells you exactly what you need to be doing every single day, okay? So for the second week of school, you're reviewing your sight words and you're reading for 10 minutes every day, okay? Your sight words are found in your DOT folder. Let's go ahead and show you where that is found in your DOT folder. If you go to the other side, here it tells you exactly what you should be doing with your DOT folder. Remember, your DOT folder is your daily organizational tool. So if you turn to your first page, you're going to find some things that might help you out. You're going to find your ABCs with some words that start with those letter sounds. You're going to find some numbers. You're going to find a writer's checklist when you're writing for me later in the year. On the second page, you're going to find a mini word wall. You're also going to find a 120s chart, time, and some coin. The next page are your sight words. Now there's 200 sight words here. We want you by the end of first grade to know all of your sight words. And the best way to be doing that is to be practicing that every single day. So it might be easier for you to make up some index cards for your child, and they could be studying it every single night. So you can just get some index cards, you can put them nice and big so that they can see them. Remember, when they're doing sight words, they shouldn't really be sounding them out. They should just know them automatically because that's going to help them learn to read better. So they're going to be able to go me, it, is, and then make sure you're keeping track of which words they know and which words they don't know because you want to make sure you're reviewing that with them. Let's go ahead and see what else was on our homework. Read for 10 minutes. Okay, you want to make sure you're doing that every single day. By the third week, you will be having a comprehension sheet, and again, it's going to be on this side of your DOT folder, and you should be reading your nonsense words. Now, lots of us are not familiar with nonsense words because when I was growing up, that did not even exist. So I'm just going to show you what a nonsense word is. If you go on the back of their DOT folder homework, you will have a bunch of words that really aren't words. And the whole purpose of this is so that your child understands her letter sounds, his or her letter sounds for consonants and for vowels. And it's the short vowel sound that you would want to be doing. So for example, on this one, the student would go ahead and put their finger under the first nonsense word, and they would be saying the letter sounds and blending it. The best thing for us to do is be blending it. But if you can only do p, a, k, that's okay. But we would like for you to be able to do pock, cad, feck, whiz, hut. Okay, that's what we would like for you to be able to do. We are talking about how we stretch out the sounds in Letterland, and this might be a little bit more interactive for your child if they are able to do the rubber band technique, which is this, pock. The other thing that they could be doing is the roller coaster, and we've also talked about that, where they use their entire arm and they're starting at the top and they're going pock. That makes it a little bit more interactive for your child, and it might be a little bit more fun. Another thing that I recommend is getting some cubes where it's a little bit interactive as well. Now these cubes I actually got at the dollar store, so it's very inexpensive, and all I've done is on the green I've put vowels on it, A-E-I-O-U, and then on these orange ones I've put consonants letters on here. It's important that you don't mix the two because your child needs to know what are vowels and what are consonants. And so what they would do then is they would just go ahead and take these dice and they would roll them, and then they would put them in order, and then they would say them, pidge. So that makes it a little bit more fun to do than just doing that repetitive nonsense words. And remember, our goal is to be able to blend the whole thing and say pidge. A lot of times parents are asking me, what are some things that I could be doing for math? So right now in math, we are talking about how we represent numbers. And this is something that you could be doing at home as well. So you could just put a bunch of numbers in an index card. You want to be doing it all the way up to 120. And what your child would do is just go ahead and pull out a number card, 32. And these are just dried up beans, and you can use anything that you want. It's just, again, it's to be more interactive, a little bit more exciting for them. And then they would take out the beans, and then they would count out 32. You might want to go ahead and encourage your child to put them in groups of 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And then 20, and then 30. You also might want to encourage your child, oh, if I took away one bean, how many beans would I have if I had 32 here? And they should be able to say 31. And if you say, well, if I have one more than 32, they should be able to say, I have 33. So these are just some fun things that you can play at home and that you can be doing at home. And that concludes my video on exactly what the dot folder is. Also, I want to make sure I mention here, it's going to say take home and return. Okay, this is where your behavior is. This is where your homework is going to be. You need to take it home and then return it. Homework is going to go home on Mondays. You'll have all week to work on it, and it's going to come back on Fridays. And then on the back part of your dot folder, it's going to say keep at home. These are going to be where all of your, any activities that you might have done in class, it will be stuff from the PTA or maybe any after school activities that we're going to be having at our school. So these will be flyers or things that you need to take home to your parents. And then you want to take them out of your dot folder and then keep them at home, because I'll be always putting new information in there for you and for your parents so that you may be sharing all the things that you've been doing in first grade with Mrs. Conley. So that's the end of my video. Please feel free to email me. My Weebly is up and running. My email address is cconley@wakecountypublicschoolsystem.net. I check my email very often, so if you have any questions, please feel free to give me an email. In your dot folder, you would also be putting in any kind of transportation changes. That all needs to be in writing this year. They don't want any phone calls, just because we want to make sure that your child is getting home at the right place. And also any school money that you need to put in for their lunch account, you would go and put that in your dot folder as well. And that's it for now, and I hope to see that you guys are visiting my Weebly. Bye-bye.